Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Yeah, me too. Okay, perfect. Contender for the Pacers. Okay, let's go ahead and now we'll talk about the Toronto Raptors. The Toronto Raptors finished last year 25-57. Clint, what was your favorite move that the Toronto Raptors made?
I had to look. I don't like a lot of what the Raptors done, but Davion Mitchell, I think, is one of those guys that, like second contract, younger guy from a team where it didn't work to take a shot on. Um, they need some defense to go with quickly. So that's one I just pulled out. Like Davion Mitchell, fine. Maybe you can get something out of him that Sacramento could.
Yeah, and to be clear, if you're a Raptor fan and watching this for the first time, me and Clint have been on the Raptors bandwagon for like the last 5 years. We picked them against the 76ers in the playoffs. We talked about how awesome they're going to be because of their switchability with Nick Nurse and Siakam and Anunoby and Barnes, and they've let us down constantly. This is us. You're meeting us admitting defeat with the Raptors because I'm with you. Their offseason wasn't particularly special. And yeah, Davion Mitchell was the best player I thought they added. Again, like you said, he didn't have a lot of playing time over in Sacramento as far as like where he could make a difference. Is there a way his game could grow to another level? We won't know. He was behind De'Aaron Fox. So now with him and quickly on the court, like he's backing up quickly, but he'll play, adding a little defense. Can he take a step, getting maybe more of an opportunity as in Toronto? I'm looking forward to seeing that from him.
Very good. The Raptors, like you said, a little somber because they were the Raptors of old from a couple of years ago is what led me into I don't think it's going to work with the Knicks when you just have a bunch of like-sized guys and it
Yeah,
eventually just runs its course. But then they went and got Towns. So you're right. Like as much as I hated the Raptors for beating the Bucks, the way that they were building that team, I'm like, this is it. This is like they're going to do it. I know Embiid is a big man, but they're just going to run all around him. But alas, didn't work.
yeah, exactly. It didn't work. So let's move on to our least favorite move. What was your least favorite move that the Raptors made?
Scotty Barnes isn't a max play. I know
Okay.
this is going to come up a few times, but I know kind of how the NBA works right now. But that much money for Scotty Barnes that shown flashes and even quickly went a little higher than I thought. I think you get to like 175 million. Like that's a lot for guys that are yes young but not really proven. And I don't know what this team is.
Yeah, I'm sort of with you on that. That Scotty Barnes, but I get it. Like because you picked him in that. What was he? The third overall pick in the Cade draft or fourth? I can't remember because he was drafted the same year Cade was. And like
Yeah,
you can't just lose him though. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you get it. I get it as a Piston fan, although Cade's been, has shown more potential, I think, than Scotty has with less around him. But that maybe I shouldn't say that. I'm gonna get a bunch of Raptors fans arguing with me about Scotty Barnes versus Cade Cunningham. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm just not here to talk about the Raptors. All I'm saying is, um, it is weird because that's the position the NBA is in right now. You've got to pay these young guys, even though you're not quite sure what they are, but they get all this money. So that's kind of where we're at. But it's not. It's concerning. You got to be a little concerned if you're a Raptors fan.
yeah. You just like what Scotty Barnes. We'll get to with Franz and even with Cade. Like I know why you do it, but part of you wishes that teams would just be like, cool, you're still under contract for one more year and then you're restricted. So let's just play it to that. If someone wants to pay you, guess what? We'll just match it. But I know how that in the age that we're in with players and all of that, how it looks to the outside. I mean, to a lot of fans, it looks smart, but in the NBA circles, it looks like the team is cheap and doesn't believe in the player and blah, blah, blah. So I get it. It's just, I feel like for all the teams, it'd be better off to just wait a year and see what do we actually have here, and is it worth $200 million?
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. I just put basically losing Gary Trent Gary Trent Jr. for nothing. You know, he's only 25 years old. He shoots almost 40% from three, you know. Good 3-and-D guy. I know his defense slipped a little bit the past couple of years, but when you're on a team that doesn't win a lot, your defense, I hate when people use that as like, oh, and his defense isn't really good on the 11 and, you know, 72 roster. It's like, well, duh, like halfway through the season, he's probably just not trying to get injured. You know, like they don't try on defense. I think that's the first thing to go when you're on a losing team. I think the defense will be there, but it's just like, again, it's an asset. I think a valuable asset a lot of teams look for, and you kind of lost them for nothing. So I didn't like that move that they didn't get anything for him.
Yeah, that's a good one. That it kind of builds into like when we get to questions I have for the Raptors. Like, I don't get it.
Okay, let's go into that. What's your biggest questions for the Raptors?
What's the plan here? Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing? Like, all right, we're investing in Quickly and Barnes, but then you paid Pirtle, and then did they trade for Olynyk? Like, okay, all right, they traded Pirtle, but anyhow, they paid Olynyk, and you're like, all right, well, what is he on this team?
Right.
So I don't see like a full plan here. It seems like scattered shot and back and forth, and it's just confusing to pay guys. And then you're like, well, Gary Trent, you didn't want to pay him like 15, and you're like, I think you could pay Gary Trent 15 million a year and then trade him in 6 months, but
right.
Something seemed to fall off there. So I don't see like a full on plan of where this team is going.
No, that's a really good one. I like that one because like my idea was like, is Scotty Barnes the number one? Because that's kind of what their idea for this team is him being the number one. Because when they traded Siakam and they traded Anunoby, they kind of gave the keys to Scotty Barnes and like, okay, you're going to be our guy, but is he that guy? That's a big question that they kind of need to figure out the answer for. Well, you would think they would want to know before they give the extension, but they got to figure out the answer by the end of the season. I think they got to be confident in that answer, I should say. And then the other question would be, is this team built to make Scotty Barnes be the best version of himself? That would be the other question. I don't know because I'm with you. I don't know what their plan is. So I'm with you on that.
Yeah, it's not optimized, and then you put extra pressure on him. Why is he not looking?
Yeah, correct. Okay, any other points or questions you want to talk about?
I do not think so.
Okay, well, let's go into a prediction. What do you have for a prediction for the Raptors?
I have them as like a fringe play-in team, like shooting for that 10 seed.
Yeah. I have them as a lottery team. Listen, Raptors fans, I had believed in you for all these years. This is, I think, the first time I'm not picking you in the playoffs since I've been doing this podcast. But this is finally the year. I think it would almost be smart of them to take a step back. I think they have all their picks. So, it's supposed to be a big draft this year. They don't have to tank, but they don't definitely have to win a lot of games. Figure out what you have in Barnes. That's all you got to figure out. So,
yep.
I have them as a lottery team. Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.